we go.
Okay, it is Victoria Savage against Liv Matthews at the face-off, ball in the air, loose on the ground, still being chased and picked up by Matthews, and she carries it into the offensive zone. Over to Elena Enners. Her pass to goal line extended to Natalie Denon, hits the ground, then it gets picked up. Around the back of the net, centering pass and shot, and a goal. I believe that was Julian Bell with the score, number 5.
What year is Julian Bell?
Julian Bell is a senior.
Her sister, I don't remember her sister's name, but she was excellent as well. Tracy Bell, their mother, very proud of her second lacrosse daughter.
And just like that, Bedford's on top 1-0. Face off at center once again. The officials set the tip. On the ground, still being fought over. Still fought over, finally picked up by the Lancers. Double team there, gets away from that. Tess Brown with the ball. Then it winds up on the ground. Violation called. Brown will maintain possession. She passes it off to Leone. Now Leone to Leonardo. Over to Washington. Bedford up 1-0 here. Londonderry in the possession. Leone leaves it for Dalineas. Still with it, being watched. Looking for an outlet. Deflected, ball on the ground. Leone picks it right back up and settles things down here for the Lancers. 23:37 to go in the half. Bulldogs lead by 1. Tara Wright pulls back. Lancers still with the ball methodically. They lose it momentarily. Picked right back up there by Dalineas. Now behind X, behind the goal, is number 16. That's Lauren Allen. She's double teamed. She's running out of real estate there in the corner. Gets the ball loose, and it's taken away by the Bulldogs. So defensive pressure there. Pays off for the Bulldogs. Ball is out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Bulldogs.
I'm going to turn my headset over to Corey Mustertiger, who has officially arrived.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. I've only missed 1 goal, so that's good.
Yeah, that was by Bell. Right off, really just 25 seconds into the contest.
Good start. Looks like Regan O'Brien just caught one to the head, didn't get called. She adjusts her goggles as they put it back out top. Move it around and search for their shot. Good collapsing defense by Londonderry.
Whistle there.
Looks like we'll have a free position for Julian Bell. As she looks to extend the lead 2-0 out to the top left of the goalie. Gains position, great stop there.
But a rebound picked up right away by Enners. Also a good stop there, so 2 for 1.
Quinn Brown holding down the fort. Heavy ride now by the Bulldogs. A little too heavy that time. As goggles go flying, the ball goes flying, but we do have a foul on the Bulldogs, so Londonderry will keep possession. They'll continue their clear. Near side now. Ball back up top. That's Natalie Washington. Far side. Now back through the middle.
You probably noticed that the Londonderry roster is alphabetical.
It's alphabetical, not numeric order, so that's terrible. And some of the numbers are missing, so that's also a little rough on the commentators.
So that's our excuse if we're not mentioning the Londonderry players by name too often.
Julian Bell here draws the shooting space violation, so she'll get another opportunity from the 8-meter. 5 minutes in, 1-0 Bulldogs.
These Lancers, by the way, they are the number 7 seed. They have a regular season record of 11-7.
Stopped there by Quinn Brown again. Low
3 big
shot,
ones.
can't cash in. Ground ball scooped up by Ellie Enners, though. Keeps possession for the Bulldogs. Pop it back out top.
Nice cut.
Bell again, and this time she cashes.
That was a nice move there to get open.
Yeah, little dodge, fake left, go hard to her right hand, strong hand.
Bedford goal by number 5, Julian Bell.
And she's able to cash in on that drive right through the middle of the defense. So 2-0 Bulldogs.
Both goals by Bell.
Unassisted there, I would call. It wasn't really directly off the pass from Enners.
Yeah, they're less generous than in hockey, where if you're in the same zip code, you usually get an assist on a goal.
In that case, they probably could have given, maybe Abby Widener an assist on that one. Did she touch the ball on that one? That's the goalie.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just kidding here with you, Harry. Draw is controlled here by Liv Matthews. They get it deep into the offensive zone pretty quickly. That's Tegan Steele. And now pass is picked off. That was Abby Williams looking into the middle, but her pass was picked off nicely by Tess Brown.
Reagan O'Brien tried to sneak up from behind
Yeah,
there.
hustled back into the play. Excellent. So hustled into the offensive end in transition. Pass into the middle. Sidearm shot is saved by Widener.
Yeah, that was Caroline Leon with the shot for Londonderry, number 12.
Now Kira Abdel Sayed on the outlet pass. Up to Audrey Purnell. Fires it way up front to Regan O'Brien.
One-on-one.
Back to her left hand. Gets in one-on-one with the goalie, but shoots it wide left.
Could not retain possession on that shot. It'll go over to Londonderry.
I believe the goalie would have been the backup on that. Again, the ball was awarded to the team that's closest to the shot when it goes out, where it goes out. And that's only on a shot. If it's a pass, of course, it's a turnover.
So sister Ashley Leon for Londonderry. Pass cross field. Goes out of bounds. That's a turnover, I believe. No,
Might have
Londonderry
been
will
tipped. Yeah, that ball
okay.
was likely tipped, so it does go back to Londonderry.
That was Abby Whiteley drawing a whistle for the Lancers. She retains possession.
Yeah, I'm going to say Whitley. Is that Whitley? You see Whitley?
Yeah, you're right. There's no E in there. Whitley.
Okay, just trying to get pronunciation right. With the last name like Munster Tiger, I'm just trying to get their pronunciation correct. We might still be off, but I'm a little more sensitive to it, as might you be, Mr. Kozlowski.
Yes, I am. That's Victoria Savage with the ball. Pulls back, trying to reset the offense.
Bulldogs settling in into their defense, looking for help from adjacent defenders when and where necessary on these drives, such as now. Strong lefty drive, but defended well by Sabrina Tipping.
Finally a cutter there.
It looks like Lauren Allen with the ball.
Until
Pass to the middle is batted down, and Purnell comes out with it. Sees a cutter, but her pass is tipped and falls down as a Lucy. Lancers pick that up. Rushing hard now.
Tara Wright, number 1.
Driving hard, back to her right, stuffed up top. Excellent save there by Widener. Geez, and she got hacked when she was still in the crease. I'm surprised that wasn't called there. Up front now to Ellie Enners. Up to Bell. Now the transition game, back to her right. Ooh, she had Grogan cutting, didn't see her, but they'll be patient. Matthews, back to Enners. Cutter through the middle, is defended well. That was O'Brien. And now Steele. Settled offense now. Good defense there by Ashley Leone. O'Brien, little stutter step move, stuffed up top. Great save by Quinn Brown. Went stick side high, but it was a hip shot, and Brown just had her stick in the right position for that save.
Yeah, Brown's made some good saves so far, at least 3 I can think of, just in the first 10 minutes of this contest.
Couple high, couple low. Has let in 2 goals, and that's the difference. Great ground ball here by Audrey Purnell. Is able to stem the tide and get it going back in the other direction. Bedford settles down. Working it around up top.
Bulldogs all in a line, moving the ball.
They usually rely on this to settle things down, give their offense at least a little bit of a rest before they start their attack. Sometimes they try to bleed off the clock a little bit as well in some of the more lopsided games. This time the pass to Liv Matthews is off. And I believe she was, I was thinking Matthews might have been in the crease, but they're awarding it to Bedford, so I'm not quite sure what the call was. Again, there was a loose ball there on the missed pass, and it went right into Quinn Brown's stick, but there was some kind of violation on the Lancers. I didn't quite see what the call was. They collapse on Enners, kick back to O'Brien. Her shot is wide, backed up behind by Steele.
14:32 to go in the half. Bulldogs lead 2-0.
Cutter here is Grogan, and she scores. Great pass inside from O'Brien. Sees the cutting Grogan, and they extend it out to 3-0. So O'Brien with the assist and Grogan with the goal. Makes the count 3-0 with 14:25 here in the first half.
It is spring playoff season here in New Hampshire, and the softball team was to be playing right about this time, but the weather threatening as it is for rain, they moved it to tomorrow. The softball team taking on Londonderry as well, but they'll be playing in Londonderry tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
We wish the Bedford Bulldogs team well in that affair.
And of course, the boys baseball team also playing tomorrow, and that game, we are going to be doing that game. So tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We're going to be at Gill Stadium. Now, this is technically a home game for BG, but it'll be played at Gill.
O'Brien with position here, settling things down. We have an appearance by Maddie Kiley now. And we're having a timeout. Coach Hodgson wants to talk things over. Just under 14 minutes to go here in the first half. 3-0 Bulldogs. You said spring is in the air, but I'm looking at my weather app right now. It's 55 degrees, overcast, and I mean, maybe that's spring in New England.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it was 89 on Monday, I think, right?
Sunny and beautiful.
Yeah, in fact, yesterday was a pretty nice day, too. It was clear blue skies in the 70s.
But that's what you expect in New England, apparently. Right, Bill?
This is for you.
Oh, he's throwing Snicker bars at me. Apparently, I'm a diva these days.
Yeah, he's sending you a hint there. You're not yourself. You got to eat something.
I just realized that you might have a job. That's why you were late.
So just, in case anybody out there listening wants to come from Cambridge back to Bedford, Bedford, New Hampshire on a Wednesday afternoon with rain, don't schedule anything on the tail end of that. Just, if you want to.
Didn't Bill send the BCTV helicopter for you?
Like
we usually
really?
do?
Jeez, that would be delightful. I mean, That would be outstanding. I mean, a couple local residents here in Bedford, New Hampshire have helicopters of their own, but you know, probably not available for you know, private use for the BCTV crew, unfortunately. You know, that's just how it goes. So Harry, this although in very nice, almost perfect alphabetical order, I'm noticing now it's not in alphabetical order. The roster here for the Londonderry Lancers is a bit confusing to a broadcaster like you and I. It's not in numerical order. It's not in alphabetical order. So we're trying to kind of hunt through and find the numbers as quickly as possible. So if there are quick delays there, as we describe the play, there, you know, please accept our apologies.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can concentrate on game call. I will look at the roster
Okay.
and try to identify. Or maybe I should even just rewrite a roster in numerical order while I'm sitting here.
Jeez, that might be great. But anyway, we know that Quinn Brown has made some excellent saves in cage between the pipes and has held the score pretty close. We could easily see a 6 or 7 goal differential right now, but Brown has come up with a few outstanding saves on the doorstep, both up high and low, and has kept the defense within striking distance. Bell now on the restart. O'Brien now low to the goalie's left. Little stutter step. Back quickly over to Matthews. Excellent play there. A little off-ball movement. Backside cut by Matthews. And she'll cash in on O'Brien's second assist. And they push the score out to 4-0. 13:21 to go here in the first half.
Liv Matthews. Assist to number 29, Regan O'Brien.
Just great game sight, game vision. Seeing that cut right through the middle by O'Brien. Love to see it. She usually draws a crowd when she has that ball, as she's such a threat on the offensive side. And in this case, drew the attention of Matthews' defender, giving Matthews the opportunity to cash on the doorstep. Just too tight there for Quinn Brown, as it's tough to stop those ones in tight. And we go back to the draw. This is Enners against Tara Wright. You'll see the players sometimes facing away from each other, sometimes facing the same direction. It just depends on which hand the person taking the draw prefers. Great pass to the middle, and Enners scores on O'Brien again. Outstanding vision. Seeing Enners cut from the midfield. Quick little move to her left. Kept it in her right hand and cashed in. So 5-0 Bedford with 13:06 to go in the first half. And that was set up right from the draw as they controlled, moved efficiently through the midfield, found the offensive players, and dished it back to Enners on the cut through the middle. So back to the draw. Again, Enners takes it against Tara Wright. This time Wright takes it right-handed. And yet the Bulldogs still control. Kylie down to Williams, now behind to Steele. Ball gets loose, picked up, and on the move is Caroline Leone. Now through the middle, we have Abby Whitley. Whitley now looks for help, cutters through the middle. That's Caroline Leone again. Moves back to her left, defended well there. Won't let her get into the middle. That was Enners on the defense. Now far side. Back to the middle. Ball pops out of the stick. And there for that harmless roll-in is Widener. Widener dishes out to Sabrina Tipping. Motoring up that left side. Has a cutter. Sees Steele. Can't quite make the connection cleanly, but Steele scoops up the ground ball. Cutter in the middle is Grogan, and she'll dump it in. Grogan, second goal of the game. Assist from behind, I believe that was Steele, but we'll listen for the official. But that is 6-0 Bedford.
Game rapidly getting away from the Lancers here. That's Grogan's second goal.
Sydney Grogan. Assist to number 44, Tegan Steele.
And Steele does get the assist there, as she, in a classic pattern of play for Lacrosse, as the transition game comes, you work it down the side, work it behind, and then look for cutters through the middle. It's really tough for goalies and defenders to try to defend as cutters are coming through the middle.
We had a little bit of a scoreboard, but the scores were reversed. We just changed it.
We understand that the scores on the television might have been reversed, so apologies for that challenge. It is 6-0 Bedford, not 6-0 Lancers. Londonderry team has yet to post a goal, so hopefully that is corrected at this point. It is corrected, I'm confirmed. We do not have a screen in front of us here as we put out the broadcast for Harry and I, but we can confirm that it has been adjusted. Ground ball comes out here, and Enners is able to track it down. Gets checked on the pass into the middle. And the Lancers come away with it. Tara Wright on the ground ball. Her stick is checked as she makes a play, but that will be called. So it turned right back to Londonderry. Back into the middle. That ball is not able to complete the pass. But we get maybe a cover or an empty check. Can't quite hear what the officials are seeing or calling from up here. I didn't quite see an obvious violation. They turn back. This time it's Abby Whitley turning back, finding friends, but the ball does find the ground again and picking it up off the carpet. This time is Natalie Denon. Gets it to Steele. Steele will leg it behind and look to settle. 6-0 Bedford, 10 minutes to go here in the first half. They work it behind. Maddie Kiley now. Looks to drive left-handed. Dishes up top. Denon doesn't see a shot she likes, so passes back out to Enners. Kiley now. Back to Enners. Working on a little two-person game, on a pick and roll. Back up top to Denon. She flips to Grogan. Sydney Grogan, lefty behind now. Shot up top. Can't quite get it to go is O'Brien. And I appreciate my partner putting the Londonderry Lancers roster in numerical order. That's going to help me a lot. As Grogan picks the top left corner. Cut through the middle. O'Brien's fourth assist, and Grogan has the hat trick now on a beautiful cut right through the center of the defense. O'Brien sees her, and Grogan cashes.
You know, O'Brien's been dishing all game. That is her fourth assist.
Fourth assist, serving up dishes like an Italian mom, apparently, huh? You like that one?
Yeah.
Number 1, Sydney Grogan. Assist to number 29.
Manja.
9:03 to go, 7-0 Bedford. As they push it out one more.
Is there a mercy rule in women's lacrosse? 10 goals as a matter of first or second half.
10 goals, second half, they'll keep the clock running. So we will see there.
Actually ceased at any point of the game when it hits 10.
The game. Here's
So
Tess Brown. Off the draw. Dish to her left. Finds the cutting Victoria Savage. We're going to get an illegal check, so I believe Savage will have an 8-meter from the top hash.
Chance to get on the board here.
She'll square away with Abby Widener, who takes a couple steps out from her cage. Savage bounce shot, save by Widener. Gets it with her leg and corrals the rebound. And dishes out to her right side. Tipping now, looks to motor up the middle. Finds a cutting Purnell who can't handle the pass. Ground ball scooped up by O'Brien, looks up ahead.
All alone.
Finds Matthews. Matthews in, lefty, shot score. Matthews second on the game, and that play really was made on that ground ball about the 35 or 40 yard line by Regan O'Brien. I don't think we could give her an assist on that because Matthews carried it a good 30 yards to the doorstep. But again, that's O'Brien looking for those cutters right through the middle. And Matthews was able to cash for her second goal of the game.
Bedford goal by number 2, Liv Matthews.
And as you mentioned, this game is starting to get away from the Londonderry Lancers here a bit.
That was goal number 2 for Matthews, by the way. So far in the scoring, Bell with 2, Matthews with 2, Grogan with 3, Enders with 1. And we still have 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
And an impressive 5 assists on 8 goals. I mean, that's sharing the ball all around. These girls are looking for cutters through the middle and dishing out when they see them wide open. Here again, we see the players on the draw facing the same direction. This time Matthews against right. Ball gets pushed forward towards the Bedford goal. Excuse me, towards the Lancers goal.
And she was getting some flack there, number 29, Reagan O'Brien.
O'Brien
drawing a lot of attention.
to Bell, and Bell snipes. Again, O'Brien, another assist, and that's Bell's hat trick on the day. Tough to stop that one. That's a shot, sidearm rifle from Bell as she cuts through the middle.
Bedford goal by number 5.
Again, picking a top corner,
Assist to number 29.
and that's just
Regan
tough for
O'Brien.
Brown to catch up to.
And that is goal number 3 for Bell. So she's got the hat trick as well.
Bell with the Hattie. O'Brien's 5th assist. And we go back to the draw. Again, we see Liv Matthews taking it against Tara Wright. That might not be right this time, actually.
A little hard to tell from the side here.
I can't see a number. That is not right. That is Carolyn Leone. As they swapped out, trying to get a different feel on the draw. O'Brien settles things back up top to Bell, enters, and now Kylie. Kylie, Liv Matthews pass a little off the mark to Denon, can't handle it, so we have a turnover. 9-0 Bedford with just over 7 minutes to go here in the first half. That's Megan Delenius was trying to help with the
What number are we looking at?
number 11. Megan Delenius, I
Yeah.
hope that's the correct pronunciation, was trying on that clear. Ball gets turned over though.
Actually, I was calling her Delanus.
Delenius, okay. Denon behind. Far side. Steele. Way back up top to Matthews. Matthews with a one-on-one. Gets to her strong left hand. Shot, score on the bouncer. Matthews now has the Hattie. We'll see if they give the assist to Steele. I would.
Bedford goal by number 2, Liv Matthews.
And our official scorer here apparently is not going to give the assist to Tegan Steele, but I wrote it down on my sheet. So
And we are now in run time.
just over 6 minutes to go. 10-0 Bedford in this first round matchup playoff game in Division I girls lacrosse here in New Hampshire. Winner will go on to play on Saturday, I believe.
Yes, at Ball Stadium. That is where the semifinals are being held, as well as the finals on Tuesday.
William Ball Stadium, or Bill Ball Stadium, as he's
Whichever you prefer.
commonly referred to, over in Exeter, New Hampshire.
Great facility. We've been there.
Absolutely. Great field. pretty new turf, I believe, within the last year or so. We're going to have a violation on Londonderry. Wing was moving into the circle too early on the draw. So Bulldogs will take possession here. Aladakos now down to Denon and behind to Steele. Steele looks to go topside. Little rocker step, can't get it to go. When she doesn't find room, she dishes it back out top to her midfielders. Matthews gets crossed up there. Good check by the defender. In that case, Carolyn Leone. They can't find cutters in the middle, so Natalia Washington gets it into the middle to Victoria Savage, who's checked there. Grogan will go behind. The offending infraction, whoever commits the foul needs to be positioned behind. The ball pops out now, though, and Bell looks to get to her right hand. She does, and finds the bottom left corner. Great shot by Bell. Very accurate on that running shot from Bell. And now Bell has 4 goals.
Bedford goal by number 5, Julian Bell.
Yeah, she bounced it right to the right-hand side at the feet of the keeper, Brown, and she was unable to make some stops. Brown started off pretty well, had some great stops, but hasn't been able to do much lately.
And I'm not sure everybody appreciates just how difficult that is to be so accurate on the run with that kind of shot. Bell, again, stutter step to her left, got back to her right side, her preferred hand. But to be that accurate on the run is very difficult. And she was able to pick out that low left corner and cash it in for the 11th goal for the Bulldogs.
Program reminder, we're going to have playoff baseball for you tomorrow as the number 9 seed Bulldogs take on number 8 BG, but instead of being played at Holman Stadium or a site in Nashua, the game is going to be at a neutral site over at Gill Stadium in Manchester. So we're going to bring that game to you starting at 4 o'clock.
Should be a great tilt. A few Bedford residents are actually on that BG team. Will be battling against their former teammates from Little League on up.
Jason Bergeron will be calling the game. I'll be helping him out. Broadening my horizons into baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to do your best impressions of Joe
Oh, Nelly.
Castiglione.
Oh, Nelly. No, that's
Oh,
that was
Keith
Jackson. Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
football.
man.
Sorry.
Yeah. The 6'9" sophomore from East Lansing, Michigan. I don't know. We'll see.
Vince Scully?
A little Keith Jackson there. So, yeah, maybe some Vince Scully, some, who else?
Holy cow.
Some Harry Callis.
Harry Carey. Harry Carey.
And Harry Callis in Philly, too,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So you had Harry Carey in Chicago and Harry Callis
Maybe
in Philly.
I'll lean out the press box window and sing, "Take me out to the ball game." Hey, everybody.
Oh, my. Getting a little loopy here in the box a little early. 3:56, we do have a timeout. And, folks, we'll talk it over. 3:56 to go in the first half. But, yeah, the baseball commentary is when it's done well.
It's an art.
It's fun to listen to, right?
It is an art.
Knowing the rhythm of the game, knowing the details of the stories behind the players, behind the team, behind the relationships, the extensive amount of statistics you're able to refer to.
Yeah, thanks to Lauren Fox. Apparently, he's been taking some meticulous notes on the boys team and has been providing them to us every game, so we can knowledgeably talk about batting averages and OPSs and things like that during the game. But the thing with baseball, there's a lot of space to fill. So, a good baseball announcer is a storyteller and can easily flip from describing the action to sharing a tale. As opposed to a game like hockey where you have to selectively edit yourself on the fly because there's so much going on you can't possibly describe it all, nor would you want to.
Is that hard for you, Harry? Let me ask. I'm
It
putting
is,
you on the spot.
What, the self-editing?
Yeah.
Well, I've been learning. I've been doing the hockey games now for about 4 years, and yeah, it's an ongoing process. You can always get a little better.
Draw controlled here by Londonderry as Abby Whitley comes away with it as we're back in action. Right, comes right down the middle, past the middle, finds the ground. That was a great opportunity for the Lancers, and unfortunately they couldn't make the connection. Denon here now comes down on the pass from Libby Norris.
Shielding with her body there.
Keeping it out and away. She'll roll back to her left, look for company. Dacos can't come up with it. But Maddie Kiley is there for the ground ball. She gets whacked on dangerous check, so she'll keep the ball. Carolyn Leone gets sent behind. And now the Bulldogs will settle. Yeah, I've always enjoyed listening to Joe Castiglione, the longtime Red Sox radio announcer. And he really adds color and history and personality to that broadcast.
Well, you know, our own Lauren Fox is quite good at it as well. He's won a couple of state awards for his calls of games. Unfortunately, he's on the coaching staff of the Bulldogs, so he's not available to us. He can't exactly, although we could put a wireless mic on him while he's on third base.
Man, that would be fun.
Coaching third.
I'm not sure if you heard it the other night. The Red Sox on I believe, a national broadcast, as Tegan Steele makes a great play here. Little inside roll and was able to cash in on the goal. 12-0 Bedford. On a national broadcast, they had a mic on Kike Hernandez during the gameplay. Is the Red Sox center fielder. And he basically called the play that was going to happen, right?
Really?
So there was a player on second base. He said, it's going to be a single to me. I'm going to have to try to throw him out at home. He predicted the play. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the assist from the outfield, but it was amazing to hear his thought process as the next batter was up. I forget exactly who it was against, but amazing to hear the microphone on the player during the play.
Well, you really have to be the master of your domain to do that, because I mean you're playing a major league sport. Your concentration has to be fully in the game to have the capacity to even think about talking.
Sure.
You know, and describing what you're doing is really next level.
Draw controlled here by the Lancers. They get it quickly into the offensive end, right up to Megan Delenius. And now we do get a 3-second on the backside, I believe, is going to give the ball to the Lancers. And Megan Delenius will keep possession. Referees are directing play here. It's not quite an 8 meter, so the defense should be able to collapse well, as they do. Tipping looks for the open player, who is Natalia Washington on the far side. No lane for her, and she dishes to her teammate. Now there's a lane, quickly closed. Help defense here. Inside, shot is going to count. Great individual play by, I believe it was Megan Delenius, number 11, coming with a strong hand, right down the pike. Gets a bouncer past Widener. Couldn't quite catch up to it. So Delenius puts the Lancers on the board with just over 20 seconds to go here in the first half, but running time, that will likely do it for the first half of action. They do line up for the draw. 5 seconds to go now. Whistle will blow, but really I would be very surprised if any scoring opportunity comes, and
Nope.
There it is. The horn sounds. First half is over and has been dominated by the Bedford Bulldogs as they take a 12-1 lead into halftime. Welcome back to Bedford, New Hampshire. Bedford High School Stadium. First playoff game for the girls' high school teams here, as the Bedford Bulldogs host the Londonderry Lancers. Halftime score is 12-1. We had a rundown from my broadcast partner here in the booth today, Harry Kozlowski. As the Bulldogs dominated the first half, scored the first 12 goals, and then let one in just before halftime, about 30 seconds or so before the halftime horn.
This Division I playoff field is the perfect 8 teams, so these are technically the quarterfinals.
That they are. They are looking to advance to the semifinals, which will be played on Saturday, as we talked about in the first half, over at Ball Stadium in Exeter, New Hampshire.
I'm going to try to see if we can get a score on the other tournament bracket game. We can anticipate who will be facing off.
Second half opening draw is controlled by the Lancers. They will go down into the offensive end. set up their offense.
It is a contest between Pinkerton and Dover. The 3 and 6 seeds will try to get you a score.
Again, Bedford will be taking on the winner of that on Saturday.
Barring a monumental comeback here by the Lancers.
Yeah, sorry if I was putting the cart before the horse.
We never want to be too disrespectful here, but
Of course.
just the way the game's been going.
Tumble in the middle there on the Lancer side of things. I believe that's Jillian Leonardo. She's going to take a minute before she gets back up. She took a bit of a shot there. Clock gets stopped for the injury. I'm sorry, that looks like Ava Narr. This is a young team here for the Lancers, as they have half of their starters being sophomores and freshmen. Impressive that they get into the playoffs with such a young squad, but they have run into a buzzsaw. The other two quarterfinal games are Bishop Girton and Exeter, the 1-8 matchup. Shot here stopped by Abby Widener, but the rebound is put back in on the loose ball, and scoop and score by Lauren Allen. She'll get that goal unassisted. And it is 12-2 as the Lancers score their second on the afternoon. And the last matchup is Souhegan against Nashua South, the 4-5 matchup in the top half of the bracket.
Londonderry goal by number 16, Lauren Allen.
So as Harry was mentioning, an even 8 teams. There are no byes, no early round easy passes for any of the teams. Makes that perfect 8-team tournament bracket. Again, both the semifinal games and the final game will be played over in Exeter. Draw here. Scrambled. Picked up by O'Brien. Ahead quickly to Denon. She finds Julian Bell. Across the formation, back behind, all the way back to Denon's stick. Looks for cutters. O'Brien in the middle, can't quite complete the pass, but there's an empty check. And it looks like O'Brien will have an 8-meter. Nice little give and go there as O'Brien got the pass from Denon, passed it back to her and cut right away, trying to catch her defender napping. O'Brien here on the 8-meter gets fouled. So she'll have another 8-meter. Looks like from the same hash. Up to the goalie's top right. Abby Whitley will be sent behind. O'Brien again gets fouled again, but this time cashes in. The delayed call will not be called as O'Brien gets her first goal of the afternoon along with her 5 assists. 13-2, 22 minutes to go here in the second half. So despite a first, 5-7 minutes of strong play by the Lancers, it's been a little bit downhill since then as the Bulldogs have started piling up the goals. Draw controlled here by the Bulldogs. Matthews picks up the ground ball. Liv Matthews up to Natalie Denon. Denon gets double teamed. Dishes back to Bell. Now to Grogan. And over to Enners. They work it around the outside. Circle offense here at the moment. Gonna look for cutters. Great cut inside by Grogan. They miss her. But she had a step and a wide open stick. They work it behind. This time they find Matthews, who gets free inside. Switches to her left hand. Had the time and space and is able to cash in. So Tegan Steele assists Liv Matthews, who has her 4th of the game. So I imagine we might start to see a few of the younger and non-starter type players for the Bulldogs as they would get some playoff action.
And hopefully for the same with the Lancers as well. Give everybody some playing time.
I'm guessing maybe around the 15 or 10-minute mark that we might see some of those substitutions, another 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay. Back to the draw here. Ball is up. That was O'Brien against Carolyn Leone. Leone gets the ball now with time and space through the middle. She's going to leg it up. Looks to go, gets collapsed. Her pass goes behind and out of bounds. So
Yeah, she had the right idea, but wasn't able to get a good pass off.
she sure did. Widener will pick it up behind, dish it near side to Tipping, and they'll work the ladder up the near side here. Long pass up ahead is completed. Excellent
Good
catch
reach
by Enners. She gets it to the middle to O'Brien. A little stutter step and snipes the far side. O'Brien, outstanding move, getting to her strong left hand and picks the offside hip of Brown, which is just a tough shot to catch up to. 15-2 is the score now on O'Brien's second goal.
Regan O'Brien. Assist to number 26, Eliana Enners.
They'll give the assist to Enners as she moved it through the midfield and found the cutting O'Brien right at the top of the fan. O'Brien only needed maybe 2 steps to get her strong left hand open and cashed in with a snipe. O'Brien's getting a few of these draws. It's been unusual. She hasn't taken a lot of draws throughout the season, but she is getting some of these here in the second half. Pushing it forward here. O'Brien will pick up that loose ball. Back to Enners. Enners dodges, finds Bell. She gets back to her right hand and gets whacked, so she'll get a free position, I believe, from the top center hash. Ooh, and we have a broken stick, too, as Ashley Leone will trot to the side with a broken shaft of her stick. It looks like it's only about 6 or 8 inches up from the bottom of the stick. She swaps that one out and quickly hustles back onto the field. That is an occurrence that you see far more often on the boys' side of things, as they are smashing each other with the sticks pretty frequently, either stick checks or hitting them over the body. It's an unusual occurrence for the girls' game to see that stick break like that.
What are the sticks usually made out of?
It depends. As we see the free position shot here by Julian Bell, she cashes in for her 5th goal of the game. The sticks are traditionally made of metal alloys, frequently titanium, as it's a strong and yet light material to make the sticks out of, but they're any kind of alloy as well. So mixes of metals that all kinds of different manufacturers tout as the strongest, lightest combination of whatever is out there. Scandium, titanium, whatever it is.
Have they ever done any composite sticks like the hockey sticks for lightness and flex?
They sure have. So some carbon composite ones. You know, the flex helps, but in a sport like this, unfortunately, they're a bit too brittle, as those physical interactions between players and between sticks can really cause some damage on a stick that's not quite as strong as it could be. So for the most part, you'll see metal alloy type shafts. The head of the stick, as a contrary, is usually a plastic material. Easily moldable to different sizes and shapes, and can be utilized for different stringing combinations too. Great shot there by Matthews, backed up by Denon. Matthews was just wide left of the goal. Now O'Brien, great cut by Denon, and she cashes in. O'Brien, 6 assists now, and Denon, her first on the evening. It's 17-2 with just about 15 and a half to go in the game. So we're seeing O'Brien use her right hand a little bit more. We're seeing her at the draw. Her versatility is amazing. She has 8 points, 2 goals and 6 assists, and is contributing at the midfield as well. An interesting formation to note, despite being up 15 goals, the Bedford Bulldogs have an extra player on the defensive end during the draw, getting some practice working out of this formation to shade defensively on loose ball type situations and restarts from the center on the draw. This allows a player from their attack or their offensive side to move up. And likely in this case, it's O'Brien, as she's normally an attacker. And they can shade a midfield to be on the defensive side. In this case, Sydney Grogan, who is normally a midfielder. And again, in lacrosse, it's a numbers issue as far as offside is concerned. It's not necessarily specific players. As long as you have the right numbers on the right side of the field, you're paying attention to the offside. In this case, you see O'Brien has now stayed on the offensive end, and they have 4 attackers, which is legal position. Tara Wright will restart on the dangerous check from O'Brien. O'Brien will trot off for a sub. Looks like Abby Williams will come in. Wright looks to go. She's checked from behind by Grogan. Grogan hustles, can't quite get there, and that's controlled by Lila Malia. Pass quickly over to Megan Delenius. We're going to have, maybe a illegal pick there, maybe a moving screen. I'm guessing that's what that was. As Tara Wright is sent behind, that is not who had the ball, so I'm guessing it was a moving screen that they called there. Near side to Libby Norris. Norris to Grogan. She'll look to motor through the midfield. Open cutter on the far side. Can't make the connection with Abby Williams. And the Lancers will pick it up. Just over 13 to go. 17-2 is the Bedford lead. Restart here. Running through a few defenders is Abby Whitley. Great hustle by the Bedford attack to slow her down and ride with energy. Whitley motors through the fan, kicks it behind. Allen back up top to Malia. And now to Wright. Wright gets back to her left hand, gets through a few defenders. Her shot is wide though. Behind, picked up by Lauren Allen. Allen, little rocker step, can't get any room to shoot as Tipping stays right with her. Norris now defends Washington. Drive hard, good defense here by Norris. Keeps Delenius on the outside. Back cut, tough one. Back cut there by Gabby Pedrick. Had a little bit of room there. You'll see the defenders are trying to keep their arms extended but applying equal pressure. If you extend those arms, you will get called for a push. So the Bedford defenders are trying to keep their arms out and away from their body, but not pushing out and away when they make contact with the offensive player. Washington now back to Wright. Back to Washington. They crisscross. A little weave in the middle. Ball comes out. They're going to get called for an illegal check, and I believe that Delenius will have, it's Delenius that picks it up. And she has an 8-meter free position, top center hash. Widener comes out. Bounce shot off the post. Can't get it to go. And Widener has a little help from her friend. Ball pops out. Great hustle from behind as Kira Abdel Sayed was applying pressure from behind. That ball pops out. Liv Matthews picks up the Lucy. Now motors it through midfield. She's got a cutter behind. Grogan, there it is. Keep going. Crash the lane. There it is. She cashes on a high shot. Draws a couple defenders. But that does not deter her as Grogan slashes through the middle on a transition goal, pushing the lead to 18-2.
Timeout, Bedford.
Well, we got some time here. Let's recap the second half scoring. Londonderry, Delanius got on the board, making it, I'm sorry, that was the goal from the first period, or the final goal of the first period. But they did get the first goal of the second as well. Allen unassisted at 24:01. And then the rest of the way was all Bedford. O'Brien unassisted at 22:14. Matthews from Steele made it 14-2. O'Brien from Enners at 19:12, 15-2. Bell unassisted at 17:26, 16-2. Denon from O'Brien, that's Denon's first goal today, at 15:48, 17-2, and just then Grogan unassisted, 10:15 the time, 18-2.
So as you're keeping track at home, high scoring on the Bedford side, 18 goals so far. An impressive evening for Regan O'Brien as she has 2 goals but 6 assists to have 8 points. Julian Bell with 5 goals, 4 apiece for Matthews and Grogan. Again, sharing all around as the scores have racked up. 2 goals from O'Brien, 1 apiece from Denon, Enners, and Steele. Steele, to note, also has 3 assists, as she's been crafty from behind and finding cutters wide open through the middle. 10:04 to go here in the game. 18-2 is the score.
And we are in run time. It'll resume running once the timeout is over.
Now you look down at the roster again. I talked about the Londonderry Lancers being quite young. Freshmen and sophomores making up half of the starters. The Bulldogs are not necessarily senior laden themselves, as they only have 3 seniors on the roster. The majority of this team are sophomores and juniors.
Yes.
And a junior class that makes up a huge percentage of the starters out here. 3 of the defenders, the starting goalie, 2 of the midfielders, I believe at least 2 of the attackers. So a very strong junior class here for the Bulldogs.
You know, girls lacrosse has always been a great program here at Bedford. Consistently strong, and like you said, with the junior and sophomore heavy lineup, this program is set to compete for another year or 2 for sure. And they're always reloading with youth programs and the like.
Lacrosse program is benefiting from a strong youth program. The Bedford Cannons in town here have been going strong. Number of teams at every different level on both the girls' side and the boys' side has provided a great feeder system for the high school teams. Ball's getting worked around by the Bulldog offense. This is Maddie Kiley now. Dishes to Matthews. Cuts through the middle. 9 minutes left here in the game. Were you able to find a score of that other quarterfinal game?
No, unfortunately, I have not been able to locate anything. I looked at the Twitter feeds of both Pinkerton and Dover. Nothing there.
Okay, again, that's the 3-6 matchup. Winner of that game, again, not putting the cart before the horse, but will likely face Bedford on Saturday. The Bulldogs are clearly taking the air out of the ball at this point. Kiley makes a great roll dodge into the middle, and I believe we're going to have a shooting space violation on Delanius. So Kiley will have a free position. Maddie Kiley, one of 2 freshmen on this roster. Lines up left-handed. Bounce shot saved by Brown. Loose ball in front. We're going to have, Ooh, they call an empty check on the Bulldogs there. Looks like Purnell. The Lancers will restart. Good hustle by Purnell to get back in front of Abby Whitley. Pass is batted down, though, by Steele on a great ride. She gets whacked on the restart. Tess Brown came in aggressively. Steele. Far side now to Williams. Back up top to Maddie Kiley. Now to Purnell. That's Ella Dacos, near side. All the way back up and around through the midfield. So Dacos, Denon, Steele, and Williams are the attackers at this point for Bedford. Matthews, Kiley, and Purnell, 2, 3, and 4 are your midfielders. Makes it easy to read that roster where they're in numerical order and playing the same position.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's the Bedford ones, though.
Oh, I
They-
thought
They were always in numerical order, but I appreciate that too. Steele's shot is stuffed. Great stick there by Natalia Washington. That shot didn't make it all the way to Brown as Washington got her stick in that shooting lane and prevented a solid shot on cage. Got a foul on Dacos. She's sent behind. Quick fake and a trot into comfortable land is Abby Whitley. 18-2 is the score. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the game. The Lancers bring it behind. Ooh, good face dodge. Shot is outside to the right side. Carolyn Leone is not able to cash as her shot goes wide into the back of the net. Widener draws a defender, kicks it to Tipping. Tipping now to Matthews. They'll look to climb the ladder up to the other side. Tough cross check there, absorbed by Matthews. Tough kid, will keep going though. Abdel Sayed to Tipping. Tipping through a few defenders. Now kicks it up to Denon. Denon will trot behind. And the Bulldogs will set up their offense. So as we look out the results from the regular season, it seems like the Bulldogs and the Bishop Girton Cardinals are on a crash course to once again meet in the finals. Again, a lot has to happen there for both teams to reach that, but they've both seen some success throughout the regular season as Denon takes a tumble on a drive through the middle. Denon will get a free position. And that regular season matchup ended in a Bishop Girton victory, 12-7, I believe was the score.
That was the game that BG came out hot. Oh, there's the goal.
There's a goal by Denon on the free position. Her second of the game. And yes, you're absolutely right. The Bishop Girton Cardinals came out with a strong first half, jumped out to about a 4 or 5 goal lead. And
Bulldogs fought their way back, but couldn't quite catch up.
Bulldogs were chasing the game from that first offensive outburst. So their comparative scores to other opponents throughout the regular season have been very similar. Both New Hampshire opponents as well as some of the out-of-state opponents that they've played. So I'm expecting, if and when they do see each other again in these playoffs, that it will be an outstanding match. Draw here, controlled by Purnell. She scoops up the ground ball.
Well, I've talked to Bill about that final game, assuming that both teams get into the final. As you know, NHIAA rules don't allow us to broadcast the video of the game live. We can do it on radio.
We'll see what we can do.
We may have to do that. Yeah, the video will be played back after 72 hours, but live coverage will try to get to you on radio if it comes to that.
Dacos earns a free position on a shooting space. She's on a tough angle hash all the way to the right of the goalie here. Restart. And she does get a shot off. It's backed up behind by Denon.
Now, are you required to go straight on those plays, or do you just do that because you want to try to keep as much distance between you and the defense?
On the free position shots,
Yeah.
you are not required to go to the goal. So in some cases, you might see a team prefer possession versus a shot on goal. You know, if it's a close game late in the game and they want to keep the ball, as the shot here goes high and beyond the end line by right.
It was a good rush. She just missed the net.
It sure was. 2 minutes to go here in the game. 19-2 is your score. Again, on the free position, you don't need to go right to the net. It's meant to give you an advantage. However, if it's strategically wiser to not go to the net, you'll see some teams prefer to keep possession. As we see a card issued here to Carolyn Leone for the hit to the head. Liv Matthews absorbs that one, and Leone gets sent off. 1:55 to go in the game. Restart for Bedford coming up here shortly. In many cases, as long as you're on one of the hashes on the fan itself, it's wise to go into the scoring position and shoot. However, that wide hash that's outside of the fan, it's an odd angle. Defenders can frequently recover enough to at least prevent a solid shot.
As was the case in the one we just saw.
Exactly. And again, the goalie has good angles on that, so it's tough to score in those types of situations. Good defensive play here by Tess Brown. Scoops up the ground ball. She's out into transition. Dishes. Excellent defense by Abdel Sayed. She is going to get called for a foul, though. It looks like Megan Delenius will have a free position to Abby Widener's top right. Ooh, good hustle in there by Abdel Sayed to wipe that out.
I was going to say, I think Delenius' family is right outside our press box window here.
And just under a minute to go, the Bulldogs regain possession into the offensive end. Dacos will drive hard, shoot. Her shot is wide left, backed up behind by Denon. And as we were thinking throughout, the Bulldogs are going to advance.
Just 25 seconds left.
A little bit sloppy passing here, but chased down before it can go out is Matthews over there on the far sideline as she picks up the ground ball. Passes in the middle to Kylie, now to Purnell. And Dacos hits the pipe. Looking for the 20th on the afternoon. And that'll do it as the final horn sounds. And the Bedford Bulldogs will advance on a 19-2 victory here this afternoon against the Londonderry Lancers.